Dane Brugler has dropped a new 2026 NFL mock draft with the initial early deadline entry over for the NFL draft. Obviously, Miami and Indiana players get some more time to make their decisions. Dante Moore, the biggest one, is heading back to Oregon, which is a significant impact for the 2026 NFL draft. It takes away a surefire top 5 pick at minimum, and that leads to a big trickle-down effect. So, before I break down Dane's latest mock draft, how many quarterbacks go in round 1? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. We all know who's going to be the number 1 pick, barring something really weird and wacky. It's the rest of it that we don't know. Get your predictions in for me in the comments of today's show. I don't think we need to spend that much time on Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana to the Raiders. That just feels like a lock. In a way that maybe the last couple quarterback classes weren't necessarily, although everyone knew Caleb Williams was going to go number 1. Cam Ward, by the end of the combine, had pretty much emerged there as well. Mendoza is a Raider. I will make note, I had actually done my own mock draft last night, Wednesday night, after the Moore news, and then I went, the people care more about Dane Brugler than me. It's going to draw more interest. We'll do my mock draft next week, by the way. Make sure you're subscribed. I also had Arvell Reese at number 2 overall to the Jets. Edge, linebacker, however you want to deploy him, taking maybe the best defensive player. I know Dane loves him. Best non-quarterback in the class. Makes a lot of sense for the Jets. Spencer Fano out of Utah, which was actually my most recent mock draft we did after the regular season ended. Same exact pick there. I don't know who the heck their quarterback's going to be. I don't think you can take Simpson at 3, by the way. So investing in the offensive line makes plenty of sense. Tennessee adding a pass catcher, a stud one for Cam Ward. Although I wouldn't be shocked if they went out and added a veteran receiver in free agency. There are some notable names out there to pursue. I think Ward and Tate, given Ward's willingness just to kind of chuck it up there and let the receiver go make a play, works really well with Carnell Tate, who did that a lot at Ohio State. If Jordyn Tyson is healthy, I think he's the best receiver prospect in the class. The question marks on the health, though, are very valid. Adding a playmaker to pair with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors long-term makes plenty of sense. The Browns might be doing a complete makeover on the offensive line. There might be 1 or 2 starters back next year. So drafting, I have Mauigoa as a right tackle. The 33-inch arms are going to scare some teams. Historically, the Browns got good play out of a tackle who maybe didn't have the longest arms and was there for a very, very long time in Joe Thomas. I love the David Bailey fit if he falls to 7 for the Commanders. Getting some juice off the edge, elite pass rusher, makes kind of all the sense in the world to me. If Bailey's at 7, I think that'll be a pretty popular mock draft pick. Before we move on, 2-part ask here. It's the pinned comment, so take advantage, fanad plays, whatever. Shout out your favorite team and who you want them to draft. Like Raiders, Fernando Mendoza. That's the easy one, right? Do that at the pinned comment of today's show. Number 8 is Jeremiyah Love. I don't know how much longer Alvin Kamara is going to be there. It would also be funny, as Dane points out, NFC South team takes the best running back on the board and becomes a top 5, top 6 player at his position. Saints would be on board with that. I know producer Aiden would too. Chiefs take Caleb Downs here, the safety out of Ohio State. Receiver, edge rusher. I think Rueben Bain could be a decent fit for the Chiefs, by the way, with what they like. I think Downs is maybe the best safety prospect since Eric Berry, who the Chiefs drafted, by the way. Rueben Bain, number 10 of the Bengals. I am a huge Bain believer. I don't know, let's not overthink things, especially in this class, where it'd be great if you had the top-end athletic guy and had all the traits and had all the production. Bain's got short arms. I have to pick something that's not as good. I'm going to take the good football player, first and foremost, and he's a good run stopper, by the way. I think would be a great fit in Cincinnati. We'll see what the medicals look like for Jeremiah McCoy. I think that is the number 1 question mark right now as things sit out there for him. But the Dolphins could use a legitimate impact corner, so I think it makes plenty of sense from a fit perspective. It is time to challenge the status quo, and Polymarket is now live to help us do so. You can be part of the revolutionary alternative to sportsbooks with our special invite code. Download Polymarket's new app now via the link that is in the description and the comments to get exclusive early access and a free $10 in your account with the invite code CHAT. Polymarket is a prediction marketplace that lets you make trades on the outcomes of sporting events. As you can see here on screen, you can even buy and sell within a game with live trading. Polymarket has the lowest fees ever. You trade against other people, not the platform. You can cash out at any time and react to momentum swings within the game. You are in control. It's legal and available nationwide in all 50 states on their iOS app now. For this week's Bears-Rams game, Polymarket's got LA at a 64% chance to win, which seems a bit low, so I'm all over the Rams this week. $10 free is waiting for you in your account. No deposit, no card, nothing. Download the app with our exclusive code chat at chatsports.com/polymarket for exclusive early access and $10 free. Number 12, the Cowboys take Sonny Styles, the linebacker, out of Ohio State. Linebacker's a huge need. Styles is generally regarded as the top, pure off-ball linebacker. The guy I'm a big fan of later on. That one makes a lot of sense for the Cowboys. Dane's going to mock that one a lot. He's a big fan of that fit. I'm a big Mansour Delane fan. I think what he brings to a team, despite not having the best size and length, I think he's got the best cornerback film from 2025. That's also cheating because Ramon McCoy didn't play in 2025, but still, it's accurate. Zone, man, stickiness, ball skills, he's got it all, man. An early guard pick. They got Ione out of Penn State. I remember Cowboys took Booker at 12 last year. I wonder if the Ravens could look at a defensive tackle. I am worried about the Justin Madubuike neck injury. Ravens have been okay drafting non-premium guys before, helping out the offensive line. I get it. Keldrick Falk goes number 15. Going to be a lot of Michael Williams comps here because the production does not match the skill set. There was a lot of three-man front stuff for Auburn, so he was kind of doing the dirty work at times. And he did do the dirty work really well. It comes down to what was he asked to do, what do you think he can do, and what will he do in the NFL? It makes the eval and the value a little bit complicated. The Jets at 16, by the way, I mentioned I did my own mock draft. Exact same pick here, too. Mekhi Lemon out of USC. You need somebody else not named Garrett Wilson on that wide receiver depth chart. Lemon fits really well with Garrett Wilson if they want to keep trying the A.D. Mitchell experiment. That trio actually could work. Caleb Lomu to the Lions here at number 17. I don't mind this one. Ideally, I think you can bring Decker back for a year, let him give Lomu time and develop. I think he needs a year in an NFL weight room program to add some strength, add some mass. I am curious what his actual weight is. Listed at 305, but he looks thin to me. And the strength is obviously a big question mark for him. So would not be surprised if a team takes him early in round one and maybe has some growing pains they deal with at the start. If you guys want even more NFL mock drafts, show it by hitting that sub button for me right now. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Number 18, Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. This is a T.J. Hawkinson gets cut draft pick. I have a tough time. I think Sadiq could go as early as maybe the Chiefs at 9 stand out. I would wonder if he gets past the Eagles, for example, at 23. It's a decent range of outcomes, but I think that this is a lock first-round pick at tight end. I kind of dig the Peter Woods pick here for Carolina. I think they need someone who can offer some more juice as a pass rusher up front. I know they spent 2 day 2 picks last year on edges. Adding another defensive tackle, I think, would be a good pairing alongside Derek Brown. And Woods fits very well as a 3 technique, mind you. Number 20, Avion Terrell, the Cowboys. This pick via the Packers, by the way. A.J. Terrell's brother. Not the most Cowboys pick. He doesn't have the greatest size, but he plays above his weight class. And I mean that in the best way possible. Of all the Clemson guys whose stocks kind of fell this year, Woods, TJ Parker, I feel like Terrell's fell the least amount. Another pick that I will have in my mock draft when we put it out next week, Ty Simpson. This makes a lot of sense to me. The Steelers, I think, should probably start over. But if they're trying to win games next year with their new head coach, they need a quarterback. And Simpson, the Kenny Pickett to Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck range makes a lot of sense. He was banged up in the second half of last year. I think he does go round 1. Where he goes is a pretty big question mark. Pittsburgh, though, I think for the time being, is a logical destination. Is Ty Simpson quarterback 2 in the NFL draft? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Number 22, Brandon Cisse out of South Carolina. I don't know if the corner is the biggest need for LA, But I do think Cisse goes round 1. He's got the height, weight, the speed combination that NFL teams absolutely love. Caden Proctor's a fun fit for the Eagles here. I do get some worry about Evan Neal vibes here. Dane put him at tackle/guard. I think Jeff Stoutland, though, if he's ever going to develop, it's going to be in Philadelphia. So, like, player-wise, he should be thrilled to go to Philadelphia. Interior offensive line question marks. Got Tyler Steen. Is he good enough? You know, what's Landon Dickerson's long-term future look like? How much more can Lane Johnson play? Offensive line would not be a surprise for Philly. The Browns get a receiver here, Casey Concepcion. I like him. I think he starts, whether it's outside or slot, day one for the Browns in this case scenario. Probably meshes pretty well with Jerry Jeudy, too. Cade McDonald out of Ohio State to the Bears here, a run-stopping defensive tackle. I think the Bears could use another front four player, maybe 2 front four players, another good edge, and another body up front. Does make some sense. Bills take Cassius Howe. I like this one. I don't know if he falls to 26 or not. We'll see. The arm length is going to be a concern for teams. But I do think another piece with Joey Bosa on a 1-year deal, A.J. Epinesa just kind of being okay, makes a ton of sense for Buffalo. Monroe Freeling, who did declare early. Dane was the first one on him that I saw his last mock draft. He had Freeling in the back end of round 1. I think the Niners drafting the inevitable Trent Williams replacement happens every year in mock drafts. Maybe this is the year they finally do it. Caleb Banks out of Florida here to the Houston Texans at 28. He missed pretty much all this year with a foot injury. I've mocked Banks to Houston and to Denver in previous mock drafts. He's kind of a wild card. I do think the Texans could get more impact out of the guys than what they have. I think they've gotten more impact. Much to do with the top-end talent, too. A guy I like quite a bit, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the safety out of Toledo. I don't know if he goes round 1. The back end of the first round gets kind of messy. There's just not the same level of talent you might normally expect there. I think this is going to be a riser in a similar way that Quinyon, maybe that's to the same extent, but in a way that Quinyon Mitchell was. Also a defensive back from Toledo, by the way. Akeem Mesidor, the edge out of Miami. Hey, helps sustain the team, right? Older prospect, maybe becomes a benefit to you. He does turn 25 in April, by the way. I think some medical stuff you have to vet, but Patriots could use another edge. C.J. Allen to the Broncos, I think would be a dream pick for them. I am a huge C.J. Allen fan. He is extremely instinctive. I think more and more you want those types of players at linebacker these days when teams are doing so much to try to confuse you in the back end and you're trying to do so much to confuse teams. I think it'd be a great pick for Denver. Colton Hood has been a very popular mock draft pick, including by me, to the Seattle Seahawks. They could use a corner, might move on from Reek Woolen, wouldn't be a surprise here. A logical player schematic value fit with Hood to Seattle. Who did Dane Brugler leave out of his 2026 NFL mock draft? Maybe it's Denzel Boston was the biggest name. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. I always appreciate that Dane and myself do teams without a first-round pick, because you're fans too. R. Mason Thomas, edge out of Oklahoma to the Colts here. Not the biggest, but gives them some really good juice off the edge. Eli Stowers, the tight end from Vanderbilt, a replacement for Kyle Pitts. Former quarterback, by the way, he's not much of a blocker, but he was really dynamic in a very strong tight end class. I think he's tight end too. Maybe Max Flair competes for that spot. Devin Moore, the cornerback out of Florida, very much a need for Green Bay. And Moore's got fantastic size. He's 6'3", 32-inch arms. Teams are going to covet that. Dylan Thieneman, the Jags pick here, which another one from my own mock draft I did last night. But I love it. He might go earlier than this, but I think as a top 50-ish pick, it'd be a great value for the Jags at safety.